Should you summon Heroic Summon featuring Celia? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the newest banner that will be coming out to GS after maintenance. Following the release of Chapter 10 Part 1, I'm assuming that we're going to probably be getting Part 2 around a week or so. I think that's usually how they do this. So we have the Heroic Summon, the Great Awakening, and we actually have the Super Summer Revival Swimwear as well. I think we're talking about all these things on this video. But real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to everybody on the last few videos because the support has been absolutely insane, especially on the Vermilion video. The Vermilion video, I actually asked a question in that was more catering towards my content and a way that I could actually improve it. And that video got over 300 comments at the current time of me making this video, which that is just absolutely mind-blowing. I can't thank all you guys enough for liking, supporting that, and everything. Really is crazy. Appreciate y'all so much for that. Every single one of those comments, you best believe I've read, or if I haven't read them, I'm going to read them. And every little bit of feedback in that comment section helps so much to shape the content that I'm going to be producing in the future. And one more thing that I want to get out the way before we actually move on any further is that tomorrow I will actually be live streaming part 1 of chapter 10. So if you guys want to come out and see that, you know, holla at your boy. Be there 2 p.m. Actually, no, 3 p.m. CST. You already know. So the Heroic Summon, let us talk about this first since this is the banner. And this banner will be featuring Celia, the Queen, Water Malia, my bae, Elise, the FBI, Fireroy, the Gunslinger, and everybody's favorite android, Norn. Of course, following this banner, there will also be a Great Awakening that will feature each of their corresponding true weapons as well. I feel like it's been a while since Celia has actually been on a banner. And for some people that may not know what Celia does and what her banner mates do, don't worry, we're gonna run through it real quick, make it real easy. Also, I think with all these units, I have done a showcase on them. So if you want to see a showcase on any one of them, I'll be having cards pop up on screen when I'm talking about said unit. So let's talk about Celia first. Celia was like the first coming of Juno. She was extremely strong and in-game, very OP. Even still to this day, she's extremely OP, still does insane damage, insane work. She's a ramping damage dealer. She's stacking attack, she's stacking damage, she's stacking crit rates. And then also once you have her fully stacked, she's going to give you some insane amounts of arch generation due to the way that her true art works, where originally the art only gives you 3 arts per second, which is, you know, whatever. But once your ancient blood stacks are maxed, you then multiply your art gauge and you increase its amount by 2. So its duration gets buffed, plus the amount of art gauge that you're giving to the whole team, which is just insanely OP. And she's a physical attacker, so there's a lot of good supporting units that you can put with her. Either way, Celia is good in every piece of content. She is kind of slow though, I will say that. That's why a lot of people favor Juno over Celia. But once you get her going, man, she's gonna be going. You need her in raids, she got you. You need her in mines, she got you. You need her in Ganon, Chloe, whatever the case may be, guess what? She got you. Can't stress enough how good this character is, because a lot of people downplay her now since Juno's a thing, but let me tell you, this girl is still a menace to society. Next is Water Malia. Water Malia, insane unit. We got some really nice crit rate on it, you know what I'm saying? Some nice water damage to the whole team. Overall, a really good mono water supporter slash sub attacker. A lot of people kind of disregard her because they see the 100% crit rate and instantly think, why do I need that because I have Vox? I was one of those people that is like, why would you ever want to run Water Malia if you're running Vox? But see, the thing is that use your brain a little bit more and you're like, wait, you can use both of them together. So you get the water resist down, you get the water damage up, and it's just gonna be completely nasty. Also, she has Fire Killer level 7. So you can already expect, man, she gonna be any fireballs, shing, instant dead, let me tell you. Next is the dark version of Elise, and to be honest, I really haven't seen too much of this girl outside of her initial release whenever people were going for her. I do think that her mechanic is really unique and actually pretty fun to play around with. And what it is that whenever you use her skill, she puts down a magic circle that will appear for 20 seconds. And her whole kit revolves around this magic circle. She actually has a passive, the Eye of Rhaegarad. What this does is whenever a magic circle is present, you reduce the enemy's damage resistance by 30%, which is quite a substantial amount, considering that your magic circle comes up every 3 skill uses and it stays there for 20 seconds. It's quite a beefy debuff. And not only that, her true art allows her to actually deal some pretty heavy damage while also giving her team some arch gen as well. So she's definitely a very cool unit to play around with. And she has cats. I mean, how can you not like her? Just don't simp for her, because if you do, then Next is Bullet Hell Roy, the boy Fireroy, the gunslinger, GS's first Phantom Sniper. The men Fireroy, This guy, if you want damage, he got you, bro. There's no other way to put it. This man is doing some DPS for the team. Not only is he doing DPS for the team, he's helping out fire damage dealers and everything else. I'm talking about, you want fire damage out the wazoo? He got you. Being able to reduce the enemy's fire resist with his art on top of getting a 50 art gauge refund. And then he has his insane true art, which is a beefy modifier of 50k. It's going to ignore enemies' defense no matter what. And it's buffing up every fire unit's damage by 120%. Ladies and gentlemen, put this guy on a team. Put your boy Berwick on the team with him. Use some fire supporters, maybe like Lion or something. End it off with the Forte, or if you want to just go all out mono fire, end it off with whoever you like, maybe a Kisaragi. Get lucky on some BE, and guess what? Whatever you're fighting, they gonna feel it. Whatever damage you about to throw at them is not gonna be weak. I promise. And then last but not least, man, this banner's just a little bit too good. I'm not even gonna cap to you. The girl Norn. Oh man, this girl right here, there's not really much you gotta say about her. She's definitely probably gonna be, alongside Finn, one of the longer lasting units from the Holy Trinity. But the Holy Trinity has started to fall off, but let me tell you, Norn is nowhere near falling off. The amount of team utility and team viability that this unit has is insane. She is type B Archgen, however, so that does kind of suck. But to be honest, that doesn't even matter half the time. This unit has insane paralysis procs, especially if you have a true weapon equipped, making some of the hardest content in the game trivial, especially Omega Palamecia in the mines. Not only is she good against any boss that is susceptible to paralysis, she is just an insane Archgener. Her damage is kind of, you know, I want to say about average, a little bit on the lower side maybe for some people, at least nowadays standards. This girl's able to give your entire team 20 art gauge instantaneously, and then on top of that, it's going to be autofilling all art gauge, all allies by 3 for 20 seconds. So if you don't have a type B Archgener on the team, you do have Norn. But even if you're running a type B Archgener, you can still opt in for Norn because her true art still is going to give you value due to that 20 art gauge that it gives to the whole team, which don't sleep on that. It's quite good. On top of her slots also being pretty fantastic for support play, or just, you know, that last slot. Maybe you just want a unit with some defense equips, you know, at least have one 5-star defense on the team so you can have some damage mitigation. Norn's one of your perfect units. I'm telling you, before Sistina, before Juno, before all that came out, Norn was in everybody's team. Such a good unit, really good. If you wind up pulling her, don't be upset whatsoever. She is amazing as a supporting unit or just as a utility unit for your team. That is actually it for the banner. Like I said before, we also will be having the true equip banner, which if you want to summon on this for one of their true weapons, you know, go on ahead. These true weapons are actually pretty good, especially Norn's and Celia's. But we do have another banner coming out as well, which is the Super Swimwear Summer Revival. But just to talk about the 5 stars, I'm not for sure if Finn Aloha shorts are going to be in here, but if it is, then, you know, keep a lookout for that. Of course, check the details whenever this banner comes out just to be sure if it is in there or not before you decide to actually go hard on it. Just out of the 5-star items, I'm going to be honest with y'all, the only thing that's really sticking out to me is maybe Reyes' Sunny Aloha shirt. It seems to be a pretty solid light and dark damage mitigation item on top of also just reducing all damage by 10%. It's pretty solid. 30-second cooldown, definitely good, pretty standard nowadays for most defense equips. It's lasting for 15 seconds, so you're going to be having this up pretty consistently, and it's definitely not a bad pickup if you want to get it. The other ones I think are also pretty okay, like Mira's Tropica Hula. This thing, to be honest, has some use. For example, if you're nuking with mainly physical units on top of them also being fire damage dealers, then this could actually be pretty okay in those situations. But there are other physical items that I would say are a little bit better than this. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The other items, from what I can tell, are okay. I mean, if you need a freeze resist item, you have Sarah's Almighty Cute Maid Swimsuit. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, if you need a freeze item and you have the rainbow gems, just buy Alvina's True Weapon. It's like the best freeze resist down in the entire game. I should probably take that advice myself. But that is actually it for all the banners. I'm sorry this video is kind of extended a little bit longer than usual in terms of our should you summons. So now it's time to get to the part that everybody wants to know. The verdict. Should you summon or not? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This banner is a lot better than the Haruto banner. In terms of the banner mates and the overall value in this banner, you're getting a lot, to be honest. This is how I'll break down this banner for y'all. If you guys need a ramping damage dealer, Celia is insanely good for that. But I also want to mention too is that if you're mainly going for D Celia and you don't really care about any other banner mate, we have a forever summon going on right now, which means that you can select D Celia from that forever summon if you wanted to have a ramping damage dealer. Not only that, the forever summon comes in 2 parts. So you have the first unit they're going to be able to pick within the first 30 days. And then after those first 30 days are up, we're going to be having a forever summon part 2, which of course will allow you to select another unit. So if you really only want one unit from this banner, you could consider picking one of them from the forever summon, because I'm pretty sure everybody that's on this banner is actually in the FS this time around. But if you've already used your forever summon, but you also want D Celia for whatever reason, then you may want to consider trying to go for on this banner. I always say that it's always good to go into any banner with multiple goals so you don't get disappointed and upset if you don't get what you want and you wind up pulling something else. Yeah, if you're missing like Water Malia or Fire Roar, you're missing Norn especially on top of D Celia, this banner has a lot of value to you. As a new player or as a free-to-play player, I think this banner is also really good just because it has Norn and D Celia as well. Fire Roy, I think, is a little bit harder for free-to-play players and newer players due to nuking being a little bit more reliant on, of course, equipment and also the units. You have to make sure you have pretty much everything. You need all pieces of Exodia to get, you know, that baby to actually go off. And Water Malia, I want to say kind of falls in the same boat for free-to-play players or newer players to the game, because if you're not using mono water, she kind of loses pretty much all of her value. But if you need 100% crit rate buffer, she definitely can be that for you, because I mean, she increased all allies crit rate by 100%. She's not going to be bad in that regard if you do need that crit rate up. And her slots are pretty good, so she does have some team play there. And that's pretty much my thoughts on it. To recap, if you want D Celia and only want D Celia, maybe considering using your forever summon instead of actually using your crystals on this banner would be a better option for you. That way you can skip this banner and save your crystals and chill out. If you're newer to the game, I think that you at least do your guaranteed on this. Same thing if you're free to play and you're missing majority of these units, try to do your guaranteed. See if you get lucky. And yeah, for everybody else, I think that if you already have D Celia and you already have Norn, this banner is pretty much a skip. That's gonna be it though for this video, man. Thank you all for coming out. It's been your boy OP. Tell me down below if you're gonna be summoning for any of these guys, and if you are, I do wish you the best of luck. But guys, thank you all again for coming out. It's been your boy OP. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more. And last but not least, you guys already know, don't forget to drink water.